Hello, viewers, and welcome to another exciting weekly podcast brought to you by Java Rains Estate. My name remains Peace Sharon, and remember, in our podcast, we don't just talk about real estate, but we talk about how to build wealth, how to invest, and everything you need to know about real estate. And as usual, I am not alone in the studio. I have with me Mr. Rex, the MD of Java Rains Estate. Thank you so much for being here once again.
Thank you, Peace.
So today we'll be diving into a very, very interesting topic because who doesn't like money? Everybody likes money. I like money and I'm sure you like money as well. So our topic for today is real estate a powerful tool for wealth creation? Because most of the time, a lot of people say real estate creates wealth, but in literal terms, does it actually create wealth? Because there are people that have never benefited from it, even after investing in it. But so now, we move to the question again. Is real estate a powerful tool for wealth creation?
Yes. Not just nationally, it's a global, not just a global phenomenon, it's a fact. Real estate is a primary tool for wealth creation because shelter is at the base of human need. And there will always be a growing need for shelter. There will always be a growing need and a high demand for housing. And this places real estate as one of the core when it comes to contributing to human needs, shelter, and primarily this is the core of it. So meeting shelter. Let me give for a say in Nigeria here. There is a gross mass housing deficit. As at today, Nigeria is in a deficit of an estimated 20 million housing units. If developers were to develop 10,000 houses every year, it's going to take 1,000 years or 2,000 years for us to meet that gap. So 1,000 real estate companies can't even meet this gap. So this is one of the reasons why real estate is in high demand and will remain one of the global tools for wealth creation.
Wow. That's very interesting. And I'm sure you are going to do justice to the questions I have on ground. So we're moving on to the very first question. And the question says, a lot of people buy real estate or invest in real estate. But if someone in Nigeria earns a regular salary, is real estate still realistic for them?
Yes. Real estate is realistic even for a salary earner, but the mindset is going to be a journey, not a destination. Now, how do you engage in real estate as a salary earner? Number one, land in developing areas. So the concept of land banking. Now, number two, partnership. Number three, taking advantage of installmental plans. These are provisions that can capture a salary earner. A salary earner can take advantages of low entry prices when listings are made. Now, a salary earner can also take advantage of partnership. When I spoke about partnership, I mean people can group buy a property.
Very true.
So you can see that at this entry point, no matter your salary income, you can still find yourself at an entry point into real estate.
Wow, that's very, very interesting. So as a salary earner, you can take opportunities of either the early entry plans or installmental payments. And I am aware that Java Rains has an installment payment for salary earners in particular. Absolutely. So what would you say about that? Can you give us more insights on that?
Okay, now we recently launched a campaign of a 10 months payment plan.
Wow, that's a long period of time.
That's a long period of time. And with as low as 10% initial deposit, one can begin their own investment journey. And these things are not just fixed. We can actually tailor a plan for you irrespective of your income level at any point in time.
So it means you also offer consultation service to guide them on how to go through this process.
Yeah.
Wow, that's very interesting. So we move on to the second question, and it says, what's smarter, saving money in the bank or putting it into the property or a property? For example, you can save your money in the bank. What are the tendencies or what are the chances of you gaining from it? What are the chances of you getting 100% return from it? And also, is putting it into a property or a real estate the smart idea or smart choice to make?
Now, both of them are good. Putting your money in bank and having your money in property. Number one, having your money in the bank guarantees you safety. Having your money in real estate guarantees you growth. Now, the idea there, if we're going to follow it one after the other, well, I'm going to say having your money in the bank is very important for emergency funds. It will not be ideal for you to have all your money in property, but it is smarter to have a chunk portion of your money in property. Why? Now, when we talk about money in the bank, we talk about emergency funds, go-to funds, capital funds. This having your money in the bank gives you room to have an investment. So it's like a pattern, it's like a process. Now, when we now talk about having your money in properties, now you need to understand the mindset that runs is that when you're having your money in properties, you should have your money in properties or in areas that have liquidity. What is the liquidity ratio? Now, why I would say both of them are good, not one over the other, is because the level of conversion for a property is not as much as the level of conversion for your money in the bank. Now, you can access your money in the bank, but you can't just access the liquidity of a property at any time. So if we were going to put this in perspective, both of them are important. Money in the bank guarantees you safety, but money in a property guarantees you growth. So, but which is smarter? You should have a large portion of your money in properties.
Wow, that's very interesting. And I know that we've spoken about this and you've touched this, but I want you to give more insight and light to this particular question. And I ask again, why is real estate still one of the most powerful wealth tools in the world? Because a lot of people are making it big in real estate, and people keep wondering, how are they doing it? Is there something they are doing that I'm not doing? Because some people are doing this and it's not working out for them. Like, how can you just put that to people to understand better?
Okay, like I said earlier, real estate is one of the most powerful wealth tools in the world because real estate sits at the base of human need, which is shelter. And as long as real estate positions itself to meet this one major need of man, it is definitely going to be a wealth tool. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of points. There is actually a high demand or growing housing deficit in Nigeria. There is a persistent shortage of housing. Recently, it's been estimated to 20 billion housing deficits. So even if Abuja alone has 1,000 real estate companies and we come up with, let's say, 20,000 housing units per year, by my calculation, it's going to take us 1,000 years to meet that housing deficit. That positions real estate as one of the wealth tools. Number two, real estate positions you for credit facilities. That's what we call debt financing. There are good debts and there are bad debts. So real estate actually gives you room for debt financing. That means you can have capital injections as a result of being in real estate. So real estate positions you for more. That's one. Number two, real estate is a leverage against inflation. Inflation doesn't catch up with real estate, but inflation can catch up with your cash. In inflation, cash loses purchasing power. But in inflation, appreciations are for assets. Now, let me give you an example. Nigeria, for instance, rents are rising irrespective of how the economy is doing. That tells you that inflation does not catch up with assets. So it's one thing to have all your money in liabilities and not in assets. You're going to be doing yourself harm in the years to come because inflation is going to catch up with them. Lastly, it's going to be delusional for me to say real estate is just for the rich. Like I earlier said, you can start from where you are. I made mention of partnerships, taking advantage of installment plans, buying at intrinsic values. These are ways you can start in on real estate. So let's do away with the myth that I can't start. I don't have enough money. I need to have saved up a chunk amount of money for me to go into real estate. No, you can actually start by being intentional, and you can start today. Take advantage of payment plans. Take advantage of pre-launch. Take advantage of partnerships, take advantage of JV. So let's take away this delusion that real estate is not for everybody. No, real estate is for everybody. And real estate is one area you should catch on to. It's one area you should grab onto. It's one area you should take advantage of so we can build this wealth together.
So just a very quick question. Is wealth about what you see or what you foresee when you talk about real estate?
Largely about what you foresee,
Okay.
because what we see can be limited. I would say what you foresee in this inclusive statement, when I said real estate is actually for everybody. Yes, there are people who are more positioned to take advantage of real estate, but it is all inclusive. Like I said, what you foresee. Let me come from that answer. What you foresee in the sense that when, let me say, a salary earner or a regular income earner who wants to go into real estate, how do you foresee? Take advantage of developing areas. That's foreseen. That's foresight. These are areas the population is expanding to. These are areas infrastructures are going to. That's foreseen. And when you foresee, you take advantage of those locations at entry prices. And one of the ideas is real estate is not it's not a Ponzi scheme. Real estate is a journey. It's not a Ponzi scheme, it's not a destination. So for you to engage real estate and make wealth out of real estate, you must have a projection. You must understand that I'm going to work on it and I'm going to work in the part of it. So like I said, foresee, take advantage of developing areas, developing locations, and position yourself. So we're talking about 2 to 5 years now. That's a journey. I foresee this place. You foresee where the infrastructure is going. You foresee where government projects are going, government developments are going. And that's how to take advantage of real estate at a very low entry price.
Wow, that's very interesting. So remember, wealth is not always about what you see, but about what you foresee, especially when it comes to real estate. So we'll be moving on to the very last question. And it says, what mindset shifts must someone make before they can build wealth through property?
I think that's very, very easy. The first mindset you should have is real estate is not a Ponzi scheme. Real estate is a journey. Real estate is a process. Real estate is not a destination. If you're taking real estate as a Ponzi scheme, then you should go and buy phones and flip them, because real estate is not something you buy and flip. It's not a commodity. It's an investment portfolio that you want to create, and that's a journey. So I think if there's a mindset shift anybody should have, is that real estate is not a Ponzi scheme. It's a journey that you are willing to engage and embrace strategically.
Wow, that's very interesting. So remember, real estate is not a Ponzi scheme. It is not for the faint-hearted. You need to prepare your mind. You need to tell yourself that it takes time, but it's definitely going to come. It's definitely going to happen. Thank you so much, Mr. Rex Wantigin, for pouring it all out. So our viewers, remember, this is our weekly podcast that comes up every Saturday on YouTube. Remember to subscribe, remember to share, remember to like, remember to drop your questions, your suggestions, your thoughts in the comment sections, as we'll be doing justice to all of those. And I remain Peace Sharon.
I remain Rex, is in your name.
And from us to you, we say bye.